I still have trauma making new friends from this situation just because of how bad it turned out. I just got some Starbucks and I'm gonna tell you a story. Wait, let me make sure my door is locked. Oh, hey. Gotta wait to lock the door because I don't want it to be like oh, I saw someone walking by, then I locked my door. No, it's I saw someone walking by and I remembered that my door should be locked. Okay, I'm gonna lock it now. Keeping it real simple with the strawberry acai refresher. And then I've been a really good girl lately, so I deserved a cookie. I just love Starbucks has the best cookies. I hope it's hard. It's firm. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Tyler Gomez, and today I have a friendship horror story for you. I told this story on TikTok and it kind of blew up. I really wasn't expecting it to blow up as it did. I don't know, why do people always say that? I wanted it to blow up. I just didn't know it was gonna, but I wanted it to. And I thought it should, but you know, TikTok be iffy sometimes. I don't know why people be like, I had no clue it was gonna get this big. Like, you're not ambitious. You don't be shooting for the stars. I'm gonna be honest, yeah. I wanted that shit to blow up like it did. I wanted it to blow up more. I wanted to go reviral. I want the bitch to see it. No, I really don't want her to see it. I mean, I want her to see it and reflect on her actions. By the end of this, you tell me what you think, okay? You tell me, am I crazy? Is she crazy? Whew, child. Just thinking about this gets me worked up because I still have trauma making new friends from this situation just because of how bad it turned out. I know I've been talking a lot about it, so I'm gonna just get into it. But before we get started, if you can subscribe to my channel, I think I want to do more story times, but you let me know how you like this one. So it all started about a year ago, and this gorgeous girl follows me on Instagram. We kind of just hit it off from there. She posts a lot of stories like showing her personality, and we have the same sense of humor. Like, she's kind of crazy, I'm kind of crazy, I like her vibe. Everything pointed to the fact that we would get along. We have like the same chart, like zodiac chart, except she's a Cancer and I'm a Capricorn, but we're both Libra risings and Aries moons. I've never met someone with like my same chart. And then like Capricorns and Cancers are like cardinal signs, so they're like sister signs. One of my best friends from college was a Cancer. I just have fond opinions of Cancer, so I was like, wow, like same chart and she's a Cancer, like this will be a good match, right? It wasn't. I just really want to establish the fact that like we had been internet friends for almost a year. Like, it wasn't like a bitch followed me and the next day I met up with her. We had been Instagram friends for almost a year. A lot of exchange has been going on back and forth, and we finally just decided to meet. I think what happened for me personally was two of my best friends, and if you're fucking watching this, I hope you know it's your fault. Two of my best friends moved away from LA at the same time. So I had a friend vacancy in my life and in my heart that I needed to fill. And I thought this girl was the answer to all my problems. God, I think that cookie is making me really hyper. So we decide we're gonna meet up. But first we like FaceTime. And we have this super long FaceTime this night. And it's crazy. It was Lionsgate Portal. It was like August 8th. Just remember, because like she started telling me about Lionsgate Portal. And she was like very spiritual, very into astrology. And honestly, it felt like God put her in my life for a reason. Like, seriously, I got chills on that first FaceTime. She said this one thing that really stuck with me: to figure out how to do your 10-year plan in 6 months. And I was like, wow, I like the way you think. I'm just a highly ambitious person, and I find it hard to like find people who are also like that motivated, that driven. So like to meet her and like she's talking all this stuff, it just seems like we had similar aspirations of like big dreams that we were both actively working on. And I had just come back from Europe at the time. If you haven't looked at my Europe vlogs, go ahead and check those out. I was already thinking about like taking a break from drinking, because when I tell you I drank my way through Europe, it was weighing on me heavily that I just needed to take a break from substances. I was talking to this girl, I brought that up, and she was like, I'm actually sober right now. Like, I've been sober for a month. Like, I'm taking a break from drinking. And it just seemed like everything was aligning. And then we talked about how, like, this weekend we were gonna have a wellness weekend. We were gonna make vision boards. Since we're both sober, we weren't gonna be drinking, but we were gonna be active, like going on hikes because we're both into fitness. And it just seemed so perfect. So the plan was we were going to hang out that weekend, and she lives kind of far out. I'm not going to say where she lives. I also don't want anyone to try to figure out who this is because it's not worth it. I really do wish her well. I just think she's like kind of weird, but like I wish no harm to her. So basically she invited me to spend the night, which I guess is like a red flag number one, because like why am I going to spend the night with someone on my first link? We all make questionable decisions. But you know what my logic is? I have a rowdy past. When I was 19, I was running through Europe like a fucking Tomb Raider. I've met up with guys from the internet for years. I'm still here. Like, if it gets down to it, then we can tussle. Like, I just really wasn't nervous about that, because it's like crazy saying this because I'm like eating my words now. I'm like, oh, I'm such a good judge of character, like I know the vibes. But you know what, if anything, this just proves how good of a judge of character I am, because I got out when I needed to get out. Let me get back to the story. I agreed to meet up with her on the first link with a sleepover. We never really established how long we're going to spend the night. I made it very clear to her I have a very important brunch on that Sunday. Like, it was a Black excellence brunch. I was invited by Dove, and I was really like eager to go. I was very excited. So yeah, I made that very clear before I even got there. I was like, yeah, I have this brunch early on Sunday, so I have to be back by then. The weekend comes and I go to her house. I get there like Friday evening and things are fine. We meet up. It's very like we've been friends for years, honestly. Like, went to dinner and it was a good dinner. Something interesting happened though. While we were at dinner, she orders a drink. In my head, I did think it was weird because I was like, wait, a drink? But we're sober. But then I was like, you know what? Everyone has different relationships with alcohol. Like, when things like that happen when I'm first meeting someone, I don't like write them off completely, because it's not like a super egregious thing, but it is very weird. So I took note of it. It went in my mental bank. Like, someone on TikTok commented like, oh, you should have been out of there when she ordered the first drink. Like, why? It's just a drink. I think it's weird and it tells me about her character, but it wasn't necessarily a dangerous thing to me. But then she orders another drink. So she orders 2 drinks at dinner. Like, girl, like, you've been a month sober and you're just gonna throw it away because you like met a new bitch from the internet. Like, I just don't get it. This is something I didn't tell on TikTok because TikTok's weird about their rules, but something weird happened at dinner. And I've been trying to process it because it's like, it's a weird funny to me. Like, when I tell people, I laugh because I just think it's so fucking ridiculous. But like, I don't know, I feel weird saying it. Oh, look at the sun. Get out of my fucking light. I'm just gonna say it. So we were at dinner and she showed me a picture of her abortion. Now, I'm pro-choice. I've been blessed not to have an abortion, but if I were to get pregnant tomorrow, I'd be first in line in the clinic, okay? Or I've never asked anyone to see one, and I've certainly never been shown one against my will at dinner before then. Like, that was such a wild thing. I was just like, I'm just the kind of person who like finds humor in the absurdity of just life events, and I just thought that was so absurd. Like, I thought it was funny because I'm like, what kind of unhinged bitch am I with right now? That's red flag number 2. I feel like that's a yellow flag. Okay, whatever. But we go back to her house and it's fine. Like, we're just talking the whole time. I feel like I have an easy personality to get along with. I don't have many enemies. One of the reasons I'm easy to get along with is because I'm a listener. Like, I'm a good listener. I'm all ears. I think because I'm nosy and I love the story of it all, but I'll listen to anything and I'll ask you questions. I'm engaged. tell me the story of your life. That bites me in the butt sometimes, because I feel like as someone who's like this, I naturally attract people just who like are a bit self-centered, who love to talk about themselves, because I will kind of let you talk about yourself for a really long time. And it's just something I've noticed in like a lot of different relationships in my life, like even with some of my like closer friends. Like that to me, like recognizing the role I play in those situations, because I'm the common denominator in all of these situations. So I'm definitely doing something to cultivate that vibe with people. Then we go back to her place and it's chill. We just pretty much talk the whole night and it's a good time. It's like fine. Like I will say I had a good time with her up until like the very end. Like the next day, Saturday, we're gonna go on a hike. Now, I had just gotten my hair done that Thursday. I had my hair, like my natural hair was out straightened, and then I had some clip-ins. So it was like a silk press with clip-ins. Basically, my hair was starting to poof up. Like by Friday, I noticed it wasn't as silky. So with this hike we had planned for Saturday, I was just really nervous. I was like kind of apprehensive about it, because I was like, you know, I have my brunch on Sunday and I really don't want my hair to get messed up. But she's like really convincing me to like go on this hike. And honestly, it's easy to convince me to do like workout stuff, because I'm just like, I know I need to work out anyways. Like it's always a constant battle I have with myself. Like, do I preserve my hair or do I work on my fitness? So it's just like a thing I have. Long story short, I go on this hike, my hair gets fucked up, and I'll have you know, I took every precaution. I tied my hair down, I put on my workout scarf. It just didn't last. I was just really stressed because I had this brunch to go to on Sunday and my hair was fucked up, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. The day goes on, we go on the hike, we go to lunch, we go to like a crystal spiritual store. I get a psychic reading, which is very interesting, because the psychic like predicted some stuff that would happen like literally that weekend. She was like, you're gonna have a relationship come to the end. And I thought she was talking about like my situationship that I just ended, but I think she was talking about me and this girl. Go to dinner, and at dinner she's talking to her guy friend. Now she was FaceTiming this guy friend the night before, and he was nice, he was fine. Like basically she sets up what is like a double date. It was like a double date, but not really, because I paid for my own shit. But basically his friend was gonna bring a friend and she was bringing me, and we were all gonna go bowling. I was actually excited to go to bowling until I got back to her house and I saw my hair. Then I was like on the fence about it, because my hair, like I don't think people understand just how important my hair is to me, and how like if my hair is not done, like my whole mood is affected. I'm telling her this and I'm expressing this to her, and I'm like, ugh, I just like wish I had a friend who could even do hair. Like I'm always doing my friend's makeup, like, but I don't have any friends that can do hair. And she like makes this comment, which I think is weird. She's like, I can do hair, I can do all the styles. And I was like, okay, like, can you do my hair? And she's like, no. And I'm like, bitch, then why did you say that? And like a lot of people in the TikTok comments was like, it's weird that you were expecting a free beauty treatment on your first time meeting her. She was not a beautician, dummy. Like, oh my God, that shit made me so mad. I do not go back and forth in the comments with people, but I will go back and forth on YouTube about it, because that pissed me off, because y'all missed the whole damn point. Like, she was not a beautician. She just offered that information for no fucking reason. I think she was trying to be funny, because it literally made no sense. I'm like, oh, you do hair? Like, she doesn't do hair, she doesn't do her own hair, but she just said it. Ha ha ha. I like jokes, I'm a joker, but like when it comes to my hair, nothing's fucking funny when my hair's not done. I'm sorry, like that's just how I feel. I get myself together. I like slick my hair down in some makeshift fucking slick back ponytail. Then I'm like stressed about like, what am I gonna do for tomorrow? But then I remember I got this wig from the same place I ordered my clip-ins. Shout out to Wig Dealer. Maybe y'all can send me a wig since I shouted you out and this is gonna go viral. We get to bowling, and guess what happens? She gets a drink. It's like a Long Island iced tea also, which I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I got those in college when I wanted to get fucked up as soon as possible, and you're getting this for a chill bowling night? Like, I can't. And again, she doesn't just get one drink, she gets 2 drinks again. Which I think this bitch needed this sobriety like more than I did, because clearly she's having trouble sticking to it. Everyone I'm with is drinking. Like her guy friend's drinking, the guy he brought's drinking, and the guy he brought is getting like kind of obnoxiously drunk. Like he's very touchy, and he's just like giving me the vibes that he's trying to have a different kind of night than I'm trying to have. Like at one point he's like, oh, we should get a bottle and get out of here. I'm like, get a bottle? What the fuck? No, that's not what I want. I'm sober. And also, one thing about that guy that was really pissing me off is he was really like trying to convince me to drink. And that's like my biggest pet peeve. Like I think it's actually really weird and sick and twisted when someone tells you they're not doing something and you try to convince them. Like it's the biggest red flag to me. It's the biggest ick. Like if someone says they're not drinking, why are you going to try to convince them to drink? And then if they drink, like, then what? You pressured them into doing something. Do you feel good about yourself? Like I think it's just icky behavior. If someone says they're not going to do something, don't try to convince them to do it. It's not cute, it's not fun, it's tacky, and it's like predatory. All that to say is I just wasn't really having the best time at bowling just because everyone was drinking. I felt like everyone was like interested in a different kind of vibe than what I was interested in, and it was getting kind of late. I think we didn't leave bowling until like 1, so it was like pretty late, like 12:31. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go home after this. Like, and if I had my car, I would have gone home just like whenever I had the thought. But I was like, okay, I don't want her to feel like weird, so I'll just tell her when we get alone. Because I'm like, I don't want to misstep, make her uncomfortable, or embarrass her in front of her guy friends. So I'm just going to tell her this when I get alone with her. On the way back to her place, I let her know, hey, I think I'm going to just head on back now because I have to be up early tomorrow for that brunch I've been telling you about. And when I tell you, her whole vibe changes. We were listening to music. She stops the music. She gets so short with me. She's like, okay, whatever. I don't care. Go. I don't care. And I'm just like, is everything okay? I'm just like so confused because I'm just so shocked. Like I didn't know like that me saying I had to go would like cause this, and I'm just trying to like put myself in her shoes and like be empathetic. And I'm like, okay, maybe she feels uncomfortable with that guy who's there, the one who's like getting really drunk, who suggested getting a bottle, because we kind of like talked about it a little bit and about how he's doing kind of a lot. So I was like, does that guy make you uncomfortable? Like if that guy makes you uncomfortable, I can stay until he leaves. And she was like, yeah, he is making me uncomfortable, please don't go. And I was like, girl, why didn't you say that? And she was like, I was being sarcastic. So weird. You crazy bitch. Like I'm just like, okay, I can't deal with this. We get to her place and she doesn't talk to me. She goes straight up to her room, closes her door. She goes down to get the guys because the guys were coming back to her place. As I'm walking out of the house, she's coming back towards the house with the guys. Literally, we cross paths as I'm leaving out of her house. She doesn't say a word to me. She doesn't look at me. Guys give me a hug and are like, oh, you're leaving? Bye. So I'm just like, this is so fucking weird. She's being a fucking child. But I'm still trying to be nice. Like I'm like in my head, I'm like, maybe she's just feeling like I didn't have a good time. Because mind you, she was always checking in. Like at dinner earlier, she was like, are you having fun? Like, are you having a good time? And I told her, yeah, I'm having a good time. And I was having a good time. I was having a good time up until like when I left. And like, it was time for me to go, bitch. Like, it's okay. Like, in my head, as I'm walking to my car, I'm like, okay, when I get home, I'll tell her I made it home safe, and I'll tell her I had a good time. I just had to go because I needed to do my hair. I'll just like reiterate those things, but I'll let her know that I had a good time. When I get to my car, I get a text message that says, I don't want to be friends. Take care. On TikTok, I did not post the text messages, and I'm not going to post them here. JK, I'm gonna post them here. Because this is YouTube and I really fuck with y'all, I'm gonna post the text messages. Reason I'm hesitant about posting the text messages is because I feel like I wasn't my highest self. I feel like I really cussed her out because the whole time, like in the car when she started acting weird, literally all I could think about is why is she being so fucking weird? Like in a loop in my mind, I'm like, she's so fucking weird, so fucking weird, so fucking weird. So when she texted me, That's all I could say. You're so fucking weird. Like, he says, I don't want to be friends. Take care. I say, you're literally so fucking weird. She says, okay. I say, I hope you learn how to communicate. Bye. And then she said something which was so interesting to me. She said, suddenly leaving after planning to stay is weird. Anyways, you learn how to communicate and have a nice life. And then she sends another text saying, don't text back. And she emphasized it. Who the fuck do you think you are telling me don't text back? Like, you're gonna read me for filth and I'm not gonna say anything? Bitch, you got the wrong motherfucking Capricorn. Because I'm gonna say my piece. Oh, that shit pissed me off. Like, I feel like I was already upset because you're being so fucking weird. But then you tell me, don't text back. Bitch, I'll fight you. No, I won't. I'll hit you with that verbal abuse. And I said, oh my God, you've literally told me your whole life story, but you couldn't just say, I wish you weren't leaving. And then she said, no hard feelings for real, no beef. And then I say, grow the fuck up. Get therapy. And then she said, get home safe. And then I said, I have beef because you're literally weird, in all caps. Like, fake healing journey, what the fuck, please. And then I said, okay, I'm done, bye. Now, mind you, these are, like, we're sending these texts, like, back to back. This really pisses me off. Like, I'm not gonna say she was trying to gaslight me, because I think that's, like, I think people throw that word around too much. And I think what really pisses me off is because I was gonna tell her to do this. Like, I was literally thinking in my head, like, I'll say it and then I'll tell. She says, reread these in the morning. Maybe you'll understand the place I'm coming from, and it's no beef. That pissed me off because I was thinking, you need to reread these in the morning, bitch. But then she went on to say, calling me weird but telling me to get therapy is kind of an oxymoron. That's literally not an oxymoron. Words have meaning, and that's not the meaning of that word. It's mean. Calling you weird and telling you to get therapy is mean, but it's not an oxymoron. You're weird, and that's evidence of why you need therapy. And then she went on to say, also telling me to communicate, but you couldn't communicate why you suddenly wanted to leave when you planned to leave on Sunday gives fake LA vibes. Literally, it doesn't have to be a big thing. Take care, girl. I'm like getting back mad because I couldn't communicate why I told you why I wanted to leave. But I'll just tell you what I said. I said, I have a work event tomorrow at 12 p.m. I've been saying this the whole time. You probably weren't concerned because it wasn't about you. Literally, this bitch did not ask me one question about my event. And it was a really cool event. Like, not that I needed her to ask me a question about it, but like, I just notice when people don't ask me questions about myself. And I have a really like freaking interesting life. So like, if you don't ask me any questions, I'm like, oh, you're just like not interested, which is fine. You just go in a separate category. You wouldn't know how important that event was because you didn't ask about it. But like, I did communicate that. So it just like really pissed me off that she was like, you didn't communicate. Like, you say, I don't communicate. You didn't communicate. What do you mean? I communicated. You probably weren't concerned because it wasn't about you. I've been stressed about my hair all day, and I've said this all to you. You're weird because I literally told you I was going as soon as I could because I didn't want to make it a thing in front of your guy friends. Instead of having this conversation in person, you acted like, whatever, I don't care, when you obviously care. Like, we could have literally just talked about this. Which we could have. It was like so weird. I was literally in my car outside of her house, and we were texting back and forth. I'm like, bitch, if you had all this shit to say, we could have said it in the car ride home. And then she went on to say, and the moment I don't want to be friends, you throw in my face telling me to get therapy, calling me weird, saying fake healing journey is doing too much when I'm just setting a boundary. I just don't want to engage with fakeness. That's all. Fakeness? Normally, I'm not even the type to go back and forth, but I feel like at this point I was betrayed. Like, you showed me you were a cool girl, and now you're being weird. And, you know, telling her to get therapy, I will admit, that was kind of mean. But I really think you need it, bitch. So it was mean how I delivered it, but the sentiment is still there. And I said, because this is really strange, blank. Like, I think you're going to reflect on this and realize how weird you're being. Like, why didn't we have this conversation 10 minutes ago? It's weird the switch up now. And then she said, I just think it's weird how you waited until we actively had plans with music and to eat to suddenly go home. Like, why would I explain all of this when you can just leave? And she said, I don't think so. I'm not here for that. Going to get therapy though, like I said, because I'm too weird for friends. I'm like kind of done with it at this point, and I just really want to get this off my chest. So I tell her, I don't think you're very emotionally aware of other people's feelings. I've literally been saying this whole time I'm tired and I have to get up early tomorrow. It's not a super big jump that I'd change my mind and want to leave earlier. Y'all are about to be up all night and I have shit to do tomorrow. I went on to say, I think you're committed to misunderstanding me and not hearing me out. And honestly, this is so off-putting. So if you don't want to be my friend, cool. I don't have friends who act like this. And she says, I get you and you're entitled to feel that way. I just don't want to be friends. That's all. I hope it's not no beef. I'm not committed to misunderstanding you. I actively asked if you're okay and if you're enjoying your time. So abruptly leaving is a sort of trigger for me that I don't have to choose to engage with. Once I realize someone's committed to misunderstanding me, I'm kind of just like, whatever. I mean, I understand that me leaving abruptly was like a trigger for her. It's giving abandonment issues, and I hope she gets help for that. Like, I don't care if you do have abandonment issues. I just think it's like really crazy to be mad at someone for leaving. Like, you can't handle someone leaving when it's time to leave. Like, we shouldn't be friends because I like to leave when I want to leave. Like, that's so crazy, actually. So while we were texting or whatever, she blocked me on Instagram and she blocked me on Twitter. And I knew this because I searched her. I was trying to search her name because I wanted to remove her from my close friends. So I wanted to remove her, but she already blocked me. So she beat me to the punch. Normally, I'm the blocker. So it was interesting to get a taste of my own medicine, I guess. Then I blocked her on TikTok. And then I blocked her number because I was like, bitch, I'm done with you. You know what's so interesting? So she unblocked me on Twitter and sent me a message. Crazy bitch. Like, literally... Like, by the time I got home, she had unblocked me on Twitter and sent me, hey. I didn't respond. I blocked her. Maybe she tried to text me and it went green. But you're crazy. I don't want anything to do with you. Like, it honestly was just such a frustrating situation because I felt like I wasted a weekend of my life. And I don't like thinking that way because I do think everything happens for a reason. I thought I found a good friend. Like, I thought I found someone I could really like vibe with. Obviously, there were a lot of red flags even before like the big explosion event. So I knew she wasn't going to be like my new best friend. It definitely like affected me. Like, I'm not someone to act like, oh, I'm too cool, like bitches come and go every day. Like, no, I don't let a lot of people in. I don't spend a lot of time with people. Like, I value my time so much, and I just think I'm the best judge of character. So it was just very like disheartening for this to happen. Definitely something to make you like second guess like making new friends or meeting new people. And I definitely find myself like very weary about making new friends now. Just like, I knew she was like a little kooky, but I'm a little kooky. I thought she was a little kooky like me, but no, she was like a little kooky like crazy. But the comments on TikTok were really crazy. A lot of people are saying some really sinister things like, oh, she had it out for you, like she wanted to wear your skin, like she probably wanted you and those guys to... Oh, hold on. Oh my God, you have completely witnessed the sun go down. A lot of people on TikTok were saying that maybe she liked me more than a friend, or that she wanted to do something with me, you know, like, and the guys. A lot of people were saying that. And even like a friend I have that's a mutual with her was like, she's known for, you know, doing it with her friends, and she was probably trying to get with you. And to that I say, she should have played the long game and not been so weird, because she's hot, like, maybe. It's just crazy because it's like the whole time we were there, I was telling her about how horny I was, like how I haven't gotten any. So I'm like, damn, was I like planting the seeds in her mind that she thought she was gonna get lucky? But I also told her about how I dated a girl and I don't eat pussy, and I'm just like not into that. So I don't know, I feel like those vibes should have canceled out. You really block your blessings by acting weird, because like, I don't know, I have an adventurous side. That just wasn't the night. Now definitely not now. Like, so weird. And that's the crazy thing is, like, when I saw she sent me that message, I'm like, she's probably used to getting in like fights with her friends, and she is, because like, another red flag, she told me about all these people she had to cut off, all these best friends. Like, she told me so many stories about her best friend, and I was like, oh, is this the same person, or do you have a lot of best friends? And basically she was just like, I have a lot of a friendship turnover. Like, I cut people off a lot. And I'm like, oh, so you're the problem. Like, anything that you see is replicating in your life, you are the common denominator. You are the problem, bitch. And so she's told me a couple of situations about how like she has these massive falling outs with people and she gets back. And I think people really operate like that. Like, even my ex, I remember he was shocked when I made a YouTube video about our breakup, because he was like, it's like you didn't even want to get back together. Like, no, we broke up. When you break up, you're broken up. Like, when I'm done being your friend, I'm done being your friend. Like, I'm not the type that's like, oh, let's make up and like be friends again. No, like, I hold a grudge. That's the weird shit that happened to me most recently. Will I ever find friends in LA? I don't know. Stay tuned to find out. I'm not gonna let this one instance ruin friendship for me. If I give up on friendship, that's letting the bad, weird bitch win. I hope you enjoyed this story time. Let me know if you want more story times. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, and yeah, comment what you think. I wanna know, am I the problem? But thank you so much for watching this. Bye.